the both dimensional kind. You enter a realm of spirit, of sight and sound and mind. Your radio is a cosmic doorway and your psyche begins to spark. When you tune in to Gary Anderson and Night Dreams After Dark.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition or give any medical or legal advice. Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. From our compound, from the West Coast to the East Coast to worldwide, both on the internet and terrestrial radio, you're listening to Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark.
Well, James, I hope you had a great day today. I heard you lost your phone again.
Yes, I did for about 4 hours, and when I dropped it, it went to total mute and shut down, so it made it harder to dial it from another phone and hear it. So I accidentally stumbled upon it and took me another half hour to get it working right, but all's good now.
I remember one of my sons last summer when he was living here before. I kind of coaxed him to move out. Yeah, guys, he's like 30-some years old, and I said, hey, it's time you move out. But he got me to buy him a new iPhone. Not the cheapest one, but the most expensive one. It was out last year. He had it for 3 days and decided, hey, I'm going to go do laundry. And guess where it ended up?
in the washer.
Yeah, that's right. That was the end of it. That you had it for 3 days, and I paid on it for a year.
I hope they got insurance for it. Maybe could have got it replaced.
No, I was too cheap to pay the $100 for insurance.
Gary, Mr. Gary, you know better than that.
No, I don't know. It's like going to the casino. I take the chance and see what happens. I usually last for, my phones usually last 2-3 years unless I drop it and shatter the screen.
Well, I've got this thing called it's like a condition called sliders or something. I've got 5 cell phones, a tablet, and another computer in the other room. They're all less than 3 years old. It's just something about me in electronics. They do not like me. I told you
repeatedly. I said, James, don't take your computers or your cell phone in the shower or the bath with you. What do? You sit there with your bubble bath, working on your laptop or working on your cell phone. What do you expect is going to happen, huh?
I know. I should have listened to you. Dang it.
Yeah. Hey, a big shout out to a good friend of ours, Karen Banks. She owes me a pumpkin pie.
Does she now?
Not really, but I figured maybe if I'm nice and say that, maybe she'll send us one.
Yeah, she might sneak up on you and put it in your face. Then what?
I don't know, but there's a city in Tennessee that is chasing the world record. So what they're done is got together 4,000 body-size scarecrows. Now, how many that was 200,000 bras last night. Now somebody's coming up with, another city's coming up with 4,000 scarecrows. What are they trying to do? Keep people out of the city?
If they make a few more, they can get all them bras to fit all them scarecrows. They should get together and combine forces.
You think it would be a good idea? They could win 2 world records at the same time.
I'm telling you, and if they've got any questions, they can just stop off in Florida and get some more ideas.
I know. Hey, in the news, I sent it over to you. What have I been preaching for a long time?
You've been preaching about a lot of bad weather coming.
A lot of bad weather, especially in the UK. I said, from the equator, that little belt of warm water, it goes all the way up the Atlantic Ocean, up to around the UK and all that area. It's kind of stalling. They're saying now, in the last 30 years, they're expecting the coldest winter in the last 30 years. And then, I only think it can get worse because when that stops, it's going to probably put all that area, all of the Europe, France, Germany, and all that, the UK especially, into a mini ice age in areas.
Yeah, and it's not too far north of there. You've got like Denmark and Greenland and all these other countries that are cold anyway. So it wouldn't take much to make them just about as cold as they are. Just like you say, stop or detour the flow of the currents, and that's about all it would take.
Yeah, and that's kind of scary. I mean, and also in the news, have you seen some of the cities in the Midwest, and even over towards my direction, got hit with snow? Even Spokane, Washington, got a couple inches of snow the other day. It all just came down. I mean, our weather patterns are really getting screwed up. You're still having the temperatures in the 70s. What, a week and a half ago, you had 90s. I wouldn't doubt next week you're going to be in the 30s.
The first week of October here was 4 days straight of 90s. Since then, it's been 70-plus every day. Today was 76, and I don't remember this late in October being nothing below 70 yet, except for at night. I remember snow days, and I've been saying the weather's changed here in the Midwest dramatically.
Oh, yeah, but last year you had the snow, you had the cold weather, and we still had decent weather. And now it's the opposite. It's like flipped. It's really scary, but don't worry. The Earth isn't going through any changes. It's all a figment of the fake news.
It's an illusion.
Yeah, it's all fake. CBS, NBC, CNN, all Fox, all that. All they tell us is fake news. You know that.
Well, that's what I hear. I don't even watch news anymore. Whether it's fake or not, it's too depressing. I can't even watch it.
I know, and you know what? It's almost like watching comedy now. If I had a choice of watching one of the comedy, sitcoms on one of the networks, I'd rather just flip it on to one of the news networks, and I get my popcorn and I get my soda. I get back on that lounge chair in the front room, and I just kind of like lounge all the way back and have a good laugh.
I'm telling you, I don't know how some of them newscasters can keep a straight face when they tell some of the stuff they tell. It's amazing.
Well, I guess you could too, if you make the amount of money they make.
I guess so. Boy, I would be all stoic-faced and just let it flow off the tongue like they do.
Actually, hey, Karen, you don't actually have to send me a pumpkin pie. I'd be happy with oatmeal or chocolate chip cookies for Christmas. Anyway, firefighters in Arizona rescued a dog that decided it was going to chase after some squirrel, and it ran through a cement wall. Unfortunately, it was only big enough for its head to fit through, and it's got his head stuck.
Oh, my goodness, that poor dog. I wonder if he learned a lesson about a dog can't catch a squirrel. I know they're tempting, and they really get their blood flowing, but it didn't end well for that poor dog. I hope he got out all right.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's strange, like, well, hey, they don't. Have you ever seen a cat?
No.
We got a cat. It's half outdoor cat, half indoor cat. It's a big cat, right? My bedroom door maybe has, if you gush the carpet down, an inch gap. Okay. Somehow that cat manages to get its head under that opening of the door and wiggle its way into the room. How do they do that?
Wow, that is amazing. I do know that most animals, they can get their head through, they can get the rest of their body through, and it's, I had an ex about 3-4 years ago. She left the cat here, and it's an outside cat. It will not come in the house for nothing, and she left it here, so now I take care of it. But this cat, man, I'm telling you what, it catches squirrels and rabbits and all kind of crazy things, and just left over from an ex.
I don't know. I had a dog. It could get its head at one point, underneath the door, and then we had a problem. It would take hours because we'd have to take the pins off the door and kind of like wobble the door, to.
Yeah, it sounds like you need to put one of them little liners at nail on the bottom of the door so they don't do that. Because that seemed like an awful pain in the butt.
Well, a woman was shot by her Labrador puppy.
Oh, I seen something go across the screen about that, but I didn't read about it. But I think the dog got spooked or something and shot her or something like that. It was crazy. How
can a puppy, unless the gun was sitting where it shouldn't have been, and then, knock the gun, and the gun fired, and then it shot her?
Lucky to be alive. Jeez. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of animals, check this out. A teenager, she had a horse, loved this horse, but the horse died. It got ill, and she had to put it down. But instead of burying the horse, she ate the horse. She had the meat processed and was eating it, and she's getting all kind of, got all kind of death threats and stuff for it. But her theory is best way to honor her pet was to eat it instead of burying it, let the worms eat it.
Well, she could have done what Roy Rogers did, just had it, stuffed and then put into his museum. Remember Trigger?
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. That's a good one.
Hey, what's wrong with eating a horse? Back about 25 years ago, there was a local hamburger chain. I'm not going to mention their name because they're still in existence up here. They got busted by authorities because, you know what? Their meat wasn't beef like their ad claimed. 100% beef. Sure. Poor ponies.
My God.
And nobody could tell the difference between horse meat and beef. Isn't that scary?
Well, it had to be processed in a way that you couldn't tell, because I've ate both, believe it or not. I could tell a difference. There is a difference, but
not when you slap on the mustard and the ketchup and the stuff that they used to put on. I used to go to that restaurant every time I was in that area of Seattle, one of their drive-ins, and I would buy like 3 or 4 of them because they were so good. They would, filled up with mustard, ketchup, and